Dig the intro.
Dig it, man. I said dig it, man.
What's the good word? And greetings from the ATL. This is the Bless Your Heart Boys, episode 5.
Hey, episode 5.
I am Bless Your Heart Boy James.
Bless Your Heart Boy Matt coming at you, feeling fine and alive on episode 5, baby.
It's amazing. Can't believe we've gotten this far.
High five to episode 5.
Yeah, baby.
Let's
There
go.
you go. There
Let's
you
do
go.
the thing. That's what's up. And I couldn't do it without you guys. I mean, I was sitting there. We are at, over 200 followers on Facebook.
Yep.
Got 79 of you guys subscribed. So subscribe the channel. We've got over 1,000 hours of view. So that is epic. I'm loving it.
Which is just absolutely fantastic.
So
We can't
76
thank everybody
subscribers. The goal is this week 100.
Yes.
So I'm really looking forward to that. Please check out the merch store. Just dropped this last week for Veterans Day. But yeah, we'll get into more of that in just a second. How was your weekend, dude?
My weekend was interesting. It was very interesting.
Tell me all about it.
Friday started off great.
Okay.
Had a little date night with the wife.
Hey.
Went and tried out a new Mexican spot over
Mexican
by the old AMC theater is over there, kind of the backside of the mall.
Yeah.
Used to be a Rafferty's restaurant. That's gone. It's now Zama Mexican Cuisine.
Zama.
The place was absolutely packed. It was, very, very good food. Great service. Manager was wonderful. At the end, we got our check. She came over and brought us a free sopapilla.
All right.
It doesn't get any better than free sopapillas.
Heck no,
in
man.
my opinion.
Yeah.
There was kind of some karaoke that was going on with a party that drank a little bit too much tequila. It seemed like something was going on.
Okay.
But it was a very festive environment, very good food, great service. Highly recommend if you're in the Kennesaw area. It's
Rock
terrific.
and roll, man.
So that was Friday night. We were going to go see a movie. We just ate too much Mexican, decided to go home. So then Saturday ended up being...
Better to get stuck in the movie theater with too much Mexican, though.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, that could have been bad. So Saturday ended up being kind of an all-day tire experience, festival, carnival.
Yeah. You and I had a little bit of a conversation.
We'll get back into that later.
We turned that into a segment, I think, is what
Yes,
happened.
we did.
Yeah.
As well we should have. It was
No,
interesting.
most definitely.
Sunday, again, we'll get back to Sunday as well.
Okay.
Spent some time with a very important person on their birthday and watched our Atlanta Falcons. We'll get back to that a little bit later in the show. So there you go.
My word.
That was my weekend.
Well, rock and roll, man. Well, my weekend was epic. I loved it. I took
Really? What happened?
yeah, it was my birthday weekend, so I'm excited about that.
Oh.
Thank you guys for all of the birthday shenanigans and the birthday wishes. It was awesome. So here's to another trip around the sun at 41. So there you go.
man.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
It's a lot of trips.
Yeah, so Friday at 5, Caroline, thank you very, very much. Adam Wilson, thank you very much. James, thank you for going on a date with your wife. We were last minute Morgan Wallen tickets. I got to take my boy, 13 years old, to his first concert, and he loves country music. And so it was an absolute blast.
I think I enjoyed it just vicariously being through you.
Oh, man, it
seeing
was
the
so
smiles on Keegan's face.
He's still
It was
permagrin,
awesome.
still permagrin.
I'm
And,
sure.
And Jackson, if you're out there, man, I had a great time dancing, having a good time singing. It was awesome. I met Jackson out there. He took the most epic picture of my son and I was just like, thank you for capturing just a great moment. And, he replied back on Instagram. He was like, well, thanks for letting me be a part of it. I mean,
That's
just
cool.
a great dude.
Good peeps.
So that was Friday night, and it was worth everything. Let's see. Saturday was all-day sports. Shout out to Keegan and the Warriors football. They made it to the championship, so they're playing this next weekend in the championship.
So we're talking about
grade.
state championship here.
State champ. Here we go. So
Go North Cobb. Let's get it.
That's going to be this Saturday. Then let's see. Sunday was the birthday, and we watched the Falcons. And
Why did we do that to ourselves?
Listen,
It's supposed to be a celebratory time.
it was on. The Falcons.
It
were
was
on.
on.
The Falcons were on, and we just sat there and watched again how they just continue to just love on us the way that they do.
I mean, it's just there. How can you possibly
don't
be
know.
so inept?
I don't know. So that's the deal. So it was a really good weekend. We also had a little bit of an epic tire fail as well. So again, we'll get back to it, but we'll definitely chat about some of those things for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Update merch. Tell us all about it. Tell us what's going on. Where are the sales? Where are we at? What is it going for? What is it going towards? They listened to my short and my
We had a
video,
really
but-
nice response, kind of a nice uptick on the day it was released.
While you're talking about that real quick, just as you're getting the update on, I received some merch over the weekend as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Can't
So-
wait to hear about that.
Yeah, tell us all about it.
So again, launched the merch on Veterans Day weekend, which was fantastic. We just said,
I got some merch.
it's finally here.
I got some merch this weekend.
Oh,
for the birthday.
I'm so excited.
No, continue to tell them all about it.
So
You had no idea
it's
this was
gonna be
happening.
tough. So launched it on Veterans Day, 10% off again to any veterans with the code I Wore It Proud. We're also putting 10% towards the VFW on any purchases. Certainly want to ask anybody out there to please
How do I
take a look.
How do I look, James?
I just can't even keep it together. That is
Come on.
That is so you.
You said they asked for it, and here it is.
Well,
So,
and you have delivered.
Thank you
and
very
let
much.
me tell you,
Thank you very much.
It is worth every penny. It looks so good.
look, I gotta. Okay, see,
You're a natural.
There you are. I think I can make this a little bit better. I'm not gonna make you do that because that was really tough. But I got you one too.
You did?
Yeah, there. When it came in, I was like, you know what, James? And you don't have to put it on for everybody. Now, it's pretty tough. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to figure out how I can get my hat on.
I'm
at
not
the same-
sure. I'm not sure
This is-
that I could even get this.
No,
on.
you can't. This is new era only. So I'm going to see if I can new era this thing on right here. Yeah. So, yeah, dude, I think that looks good. What you think? Little hat and the.
Oh yeah.
Does that do it better?
That looks like $1 million. Yeah.
Thanks,
good.
guys. I'm not going to wear this the entire episode because that's just not going
I
to
don't
work.
even think I could get this on.
No. It actually, this is the first. I didn't even try this on. So this is just what you. This is what you get. This is what you get. So yeah. So the merch is up. You can check it out. It's the Bless Your Heart Boys boutique. The banana costume is not going to.
We will not be including that
We
in
will not
the
be-
Bless Your Heart Boys line.
No, we won't. No. Let's see. So yeah. So that's what's going on.
But
for all the
again, so
veterans.
far a really good, solid launch. Several things have been purchased. Want to thank those that have come on and bought from us. Thank you very much. Hope you like the designs. Really, what we want is we want feedback.
You can't even keep
on
it
the-
together.
Is it possible for me not to see you for the rest of the podcast?
I'm just saying, it's just is what it is. Here we go. Anyway.
If I'd have known, I would have brought some peanut butter. Anyway,
man.
you look absolutely terrific.
Thanks, bro.
But we did get some clarification.
Yes.
On some things about everybody talks about a veteran. I'm a veteran. What is a veteran?
Yeah.
I didn't even really know.
Yeah.
But we were informed by a couple of trusted sources that were not wearing banana outfits.
No.
On what a veteran really is.
Yeah, so my favorite veteran came into town on Saturday. That was another cool thing, and came and watched my boys play.
How cool was that?
Yeah, baseball or basketball and football, and so it was a lot of fun. So Andrew Woodward, thanks for coming in town, and thanks for calling me out that I didn't give you a shout out for being a veteran. But
Hey, thank you for your service,
yeah,
Andrew.
man. But active duty, yeah, still a vet. All right.
Yeah.
Said it looks like the definition, from what I was told, is 30 days of consecutive active duty service. You are a vet. So for everyone out there, active duty, for everyone out there, thank you very much for your service. We apologize for anything that we may have said that was not correct.
Seems like a
But-
fairly serious topic, and I'm looking at you in a banana
I'm
suit.
gonna.
It's difficult.
I gotta take this.
I'm
I gotta take that way.
gonna have a hard time getting through this whole thing. There we go.
I'll
Now
leave
you
at
look
least
like a ridiculous
somewhat normal
person.
There you go.
Yes,
I guess.
perfect.
Anyway, so shout out to everybody that's out there. Hope everybody had a great Veterans Day weekend, and thank you
doubt.
guys for your service for sure. Let's get to this bless your heart moment, man.
So bless our hearts. What a weekend.
What did we call? What did we call this one?
I'm going to designate this weekend as the Fix a Flat weekend.
the Fix a Flat
Yes.
weekend. Okay, I'm with it.
So Saturday,
I'm taking this off while we're talking.
please,
Yeah, that's
I'll start.
Yeah.
So Saturday, my beautiful daughter Kellen has a late model CRV. I think the factory tires may have still been on this thing. Anyway, she pulls up and she goes to get an oil change this weekend. The guys doing the oil change get one look at the tires and they're like, "You have got to go get new tires immediately." And I'm like, "Well, what did they say exactly?" Then she sent me a couple of pictures where you could see the steel belts on the inside of the rim, like the tires are literally about to blow.
But I mean, that used to happen with me as a kid too. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
that just-
we've all done that.
been there, done that.
We've all done that.
We just want better for our kids.
Be better every time. I've told them both my kids 1,000 times. Just check your tires.
Just
on
be better.
occasion. Just every once in a while,
Yeah.
take a look at them. So anyway, we got to that point. So had to call around.
Okay.
Apparently the old
This is Saturday?
This is Saturday. The
Okay.
old CRVs have a very specific tire that they use. kind of small.
Yeah.
Don't really make those for the tires today, blah, blah, blah. So go to a couple places. They don't have them. Then start calling around. Call to Mavis Tire. Well, Mavis is huge.
Okay.
I mean, they've got tire places all over the place.
Yeah.
And they ended up introducing me to the one over Bear Parkway behind Target. So we go over there to get the tires replaced. Right? Well,
Okay.
we're there, drop the car off. Hey, we'll have it done for you, no problem, in a couple hours. Sure, we go home, get the phone call, it's done. Great.
Yeah.
We show up, they bring the car around, I pay, we go to drive home. We get about a half a mile away from the Mavis.
Okay.
And my daughter FaceTimes me. And I'm like, well, what? You just want to call and thank me again?
Yeah.
No problem. And she says,
That was cute.
oh, she goes, by the way, my tire is completely flat and I'm now stranded on the side of the road. I'm like, wait a minute. You were
New
just,
tire.
New tire. You were just behind us. Where'd you go? She's like, well, I'm right here in front of Flightworks. Great. So we pull in. Tire is absolutely flat as a pancake. So then I go into the back of the CRV to get the jack, everything else. Can't find anything.
You just left the tire place.
Just left the tire place. Been gone for 5 minutes.
Epic.
Jump into my wife's Jeep that we're in. Different size jack, different size everything. Can't get the bolts off the tires. Can't do anything. I'm like, what are we going to do? I don't know what we're going to do. So
What
we
a
call
conundrum.
call back the Mavis Tire, blah, blah, blah.
What do they say to you when you, hey, I'm the guy that just left with the daughter with the CRV?
I'm going to get to that.
Oh, yeah, I remember you.
I'm going to get to that.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so I go tearing through this old Japanese car, right? And eventually realize there's this secret compartment where they've hidden the jack. So I found the actual jack, jacked it up myself, changed the tire. By the way, timed myself 19 minutes, the whole experience, done,
wow.
not too bad.
Nice.
Get it back over to Mavis. Walk up to the counter, say, look, something happened to the tire. I don't catastrophic failure. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe we forgot to put air in it. I don't know. I didn't work on the tire. And the guy behind the counter starts questioning us. Where did you go? What were you guys doing? How did this happen?
Like it's
did
your-
you
your
hit
fault.
a pothole? I'm like,
Okay.
no, we didn't hit a pothole. We went 1,000 feet away from the entrance here.
We left you 3 minutes ago, if that.
If that, we didn't do anything. So finally, the guy's like questioning me and whatever else. And I'm starting to get,
A little upset.
bless my heart, blood
Yeah.
pressure was up a little. I was
Yeah.
a little ticked
Gotcha.
off.
Gotcha.
Right? So I'm like, finally, like, what you should do is ask me what I need you to do to make this right.
Right.
And finally he goes, yeah, that's a good point. So they go back in the back. They start working on the tire, everything else. Another hour goes by. Then another technician comes out and goes, how did you guys put the tire on? I'm like, well, I just basically hand screwed on the bolts, gave it a quick turn, and brought it here. Wasn't going far. Apparently somebody had used a torque wrench, cross-threaded it, and basically broke off one of the bolts. You can't do that by hand.
Right.
So then they were like, well, we need to keep it, overnight. We'll have it done first thing tomorrow morning.
word.
So this went on all day Saturday. Look, be better, Mavis. That's all I've got to say.
So you went in for a new set of tires.
2 new tires on the front.
2 new tires because we let them wear down a little too far.
Yes.
And
Confirmed.
then you had the new tires, drove about 3 minutes away,
Yes.
flat tire on one.
On one.
One flat tire.
The other one was perfectly
Perfectly
done.
fine.
Of the 2, one was
What,
perfect.
so 50% is what
50%
we're rocking
go
here, Mavis.
Looking
Okay.
for 100% though.
And then you take it in,
Yeah.
and now we've cross-threaded and the car spends the night at Mavis.
Yes, the tire. Yes, the tire that was faulty, the CRV, and my blood pressure all spent the night at Mavis.
Yeah, be better, Mavis. be
Yes.
better. So I was telling you, Andrew came in town, and
Yeah.
same kind of thing. I haven't told you this. This is the first time we're having this conversation.
I mean,
Like,
I sort of heard a little bit.
you heard a little bit of it, but Andrew comes in town. He comes to the basketball game at Lake Point, comes and sits and watches Kaysen play basketball. And I'm like, hey, man, so we've got to go all the way to Carrollton for a football game.
That's crazy. By
Now,
the way.
I was helping my buddy Johnny Walker move, okay? So he took my truck, and I took his car. And I'm just, one of those people that anything could happen. So I'm not going to take his car to Alabama, basically.
So that's how you ended up in the Jeep.
Yeah.
Got
so
it.
I'm sitting there going, okay, how do I take his car, which is going to get better gas mileage, but anything could happen on 20 on the
I was
interstate?
confused because I thought you were driving the Camry.
Yeah, so I thought that I was driving, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take the Jeep because it's my vehicle. if anything happens, I want it to be my stuff. Let's let it be me.
Sure. You slip on a banana peel in the Jeep.
Yeah.
It's no big deal. Gotcha.
So apparently in my thought process of all this happening, I have jinxed myself is what happened. So because we get in the car, we go 75, go 285, we go 20. So I'm out by Six Flags.
Oh, man.
Right off Thornton Road on Six
I
Flags.
know exactly where you
Okay.
are.
And all of a sudden, pow! And I'm like, interesting. Now, of course, my wife, love her to death, is in the back seat. Now, this time she's actually backseat driving because she is in the back seat with the two boys because it's me and Andrew up front. But she's
Legitimately.
like, what did you just hit? And I was like, I didn't hit anything. I hit nothing. Now, when we bought the vehicle, we bought this nice Jeep, and it's beautiful. It's a sting gray, stingray. It's a beautiful color.
I don't know. It's the best looking Jeep I've ever seen.
Huge tires. I don't even know a lift it's got on it.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous. We bought it that way off the lot. Okay.
Yep.
Didn't do anything to it. Didn't do it.
All the factory. Yeah.
We
beautiful.
bought it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're driving down the interstate, and all of a sudden, pow! What did you do? What did you hit? Nothing. And I'm like, you know what?
Why is it always you doing something?
I don't know. So I'm like, I don't know what's happened, but let me just go ahead and pull over real quick because something's not right. I don't have any idea. It was loud. And so we're still driving fine. Not a problem. As soon as we get over into the shoulder, all right, the sensors now start going off that it has gone.
We've got a catastrophic failure.
Houston, we have a problem. And so we get off of on the interstate, and I get out and I look, and the tire on the back right side is completely flat. And I'm like, awesome. Okay. So I'm like, you know what? I'm a guy. I understand. I got another guy with me, Army guy. Let's get out here. Let's just make it happen.
Between the two of you.
Yeah. So no problem. So I know where the jack is. I get back there, take the jack, put it underneath there, all the way up. This thing is like this, and all of a sudden it starts to get up and up and up and up and up and up. And my tires are so big, and the lift is so high, the jack that came with the factory
Doesn't work.
And so I've been looking into all these Jeep, all of you Jeep guys. Now we got the Jeep Wave, we got all the Jeep stuff and all the, and so I just was like, look at all these morons that are driving around with this huge jack just on the side because it's for four-wheeling, it's for going off-roading, it's just for changing your tire.
May come in handy.
And so I'm sitting there going, I have no idea what to do. So the greatest thing in the world, bless your heart, I know I have AAA. I could have called them. I have USA Insurance, could have called them.
Yeah.
Right in front of us, sign. Like sometimes you just need a sign. Mm-hmm. Well, 511 is a sign for 511.
Oh, for the hero.
For the roadside assistance, yeah. And so the guy gets there, and I was like, I'm not going to be able to change this tire until I get a jack. So I call, and add insult to injury, I call 511 customer service. Guy answers the phone. I have no idea what this guy's name is. But he's like, oh, so you're one of those Jeep owners. I'm like, what does that mean? He's like, you just bought it to look cool, and you have no idea what you have. And I'm like, okay, great. He's like,
that's me.
From one Jeep owner to another, and I've had 3 of them, you need to get a large jack, you need to get an axe, and you need to get the mounting system. And I'm like, okay, great, thank you. I'll do that later. Right now,
I'd like to get my tire back and just
But they were awesome. He was laughing about it. I was laughing about it. I had friend and family in the car.
Cool.
It was all good. But the problem is we're trying to get to the game. So Keegan was actually late, but my dad was behind us. Like probably another 20 minutes behind us.
Pops to the rescue.
Showed up, got him there, whatever. So it's just Andrew and I. And so 511 guy shows up in the hero unit. Okay. And I'm like, dun, 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 yeah, hero. Here we go. And so a guy shows up, and he's got one of those shop crank, shop.
The floor jack.
The floor jack. So he floors it underneath, cranks it up. And now here's the other problem. I bought, thank God for Amazon. Give shout outs and props to Amazon.
Do we have another outfit that's about to go on?
No.
Okay.
These tires, all right, this is the cap that goes onto the tire, okay? And there are like fake, you see these little fake nuts here? Well, there's actually 2 of them that are real, okay? The Hero unit, these are brand new, by the way. They came in because I exploded these.
So you had to buy a couple new ones.
I ripped them off and exploded them.
Yeah.
Guy tells me, gets there, jacks my car up, and he goes, well, we don't use after factory stuff. So we don't have an Allen wrench that fits that. And I'm like, okay, so you could change my tire. I've got the key for the new wheels or whatever, but you can't do it. He's like, nope. I said, you're gonna. And I just got in there and pow. Pop those jokers
You
right
just
off.
ripped the cap right off.
Ripped it right off.
Okay.
On the back one and the one that was the spare on
Sort
the
of
other
like me
side.
just ripping the bolt off
Yeah.
the car. Yeah, I got you.
So, I mean, I'm sitting there going, okay, there's a great object lesson. You know, you want us to do better for our kids. We want our kids to do better. I think that every kid, when they become a driver, they should learn everything about their vehicle or the vehicles they're going to be driving, because it's not a matter of if it's going to happen.
When.
It's a matter of when, and you got to know what's going on. Now, I did not think about an extra. Now, the Jeep has all of these wrenches and the whole thing. I've got them all, but I didn't have the one little Allen key thing that I needed to get the. I didn't
We can
think anything of
forgive
it.
you for that one. That's kind of a, you know.
I didn't think
That's a
anything
tough
of
one.
it. I
Right.
didn't think anything of it. But so that was my deal. And so we ended up getting the tire on. We ended up getting there. I did not go to the game. I turned around and hightailed it right back home. But
So the moral of the story is we should all, no matter our age,
doesn't matter.
be prepared with the vehicle we own to have
Yes.
the right equipment.
And I think there's something to be said about that. I think that we get to this place where we just all of a sudden assume we've got all the right stuff,
Okay. Well,
and we don't.
I agree.
Okay.
1,000%. But what I will say is this, right? If I'm bringing my car to a professional place where they have tire technicians that do this for a living,
Yeah,
I would assume that they would
this was
remember.
This was roadside. We were in we were in the wild. Okay, 18-wheelers are driving. We were in the wild, bro.
My experience was we were not.
You were
we
in a
an urban area.
controlled
We were in the
envi-
city. We were in the metro.
You're in
And
a
I'm
controlled
I'm getting this
environment.
thing fixed, right? I'm getting it fixed. And somehow, some way, they just forgot how to put a valve stem in a tire.
Oh my!
And that cost me 2 days without my daughter having a car. And she didn't get to go to Atlanta for one of her friend's birthdays.
Yeah, that stinks,
Anyway, sorry
man.
about that.
Well, I'm sorry
better.
about that. I'm sorry about that. Be better for sure. You know, speaking of Mavis in our next segment, I'm just saying. I was just thinking about this as you were talking. Mavis. If you do not know this, everybody, Mavis is the #1 sponsor for fourth quarter, and it's yours, Atlanta Falcons. They give you, if you score in 4 quarters, you get $100 off a set of tires. Yeah. You know what I'm thinking about that? Blowing it since 1966. I would say that they have been blowing it since 1966, the Falcons.
I would argue they're the perfect sponsor for the Falcons.
I mean, that is just apropos, I think is what you could say there.
The Falcons might be good for 1 quarter. Mavis might be able to put 1 tire on.
That's about
Well, that's all we can
because
guarantee.
all they're doing is about 50% of the work.
Let's just say this, man. I would rather go to Juan's tire. There's any other place. I'm never going back to Mavis. Sorry, you lost my business.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing as the Falcons. I don't think we're going to end up going to not a lot of going on of the Falcons, people going to the games or anything of that nature either. They're losing fans just like Mavis is losing customers.
I think so too.
Yeah, that's 100%.
And I was literally talking about that with my dad. I'm like, he's like, how do you possibly follow these Atlanta sports teams? My dad lives up in North Carolina. He's just a college guy, and he always sees me post about the Falcons and Hawks and Braves. I'm just diehard Atlanta.
It is painful.
It's horrible.
I mean, it is painful. We are Braves fans, Falcons fans, Hawks fans. That's number 3. Those are the 3 things that we in college football. Georgia Tech, Kennesaw State. We follow Georgia. We kind of hate Georgia every once a year. You know what I mean? We follow them.
But I mean, have enough people we know to where
exactly
we
right.
Kind of have to like.
But it is painstaking. The only thing that keeps us going with Atlanta sports seems to be the Braves. They keep us like kind of even keel all throughout the year.
They've given us something.
They've given us
right?
something. That's exactly
You
right.
know, in the Falcons, I was talking to a really
So I
good
feel
friend
your
of mine.
dad for you. I mean, I understand. How do you follow him?
Matter of fact, it was kind of when I was talking to him. I had a buddy of mine that spent $300 just to go to a game.
Yeah.
It was him and his son, parking, food, whatever else. And to get decent tickets, you're going to spend $150 for tickets.
Right.
And how many families are going to continue to try to make that sacrifice to
No
go
way.
see this type of football?
Yeah.
And like, our buddies over at Out of Your Falcon Mine had a podcast after the game that said, we've been hoodwinked. I mean, we've been hoodwinked since 1966.
Yeah.
We're just not serious about football.
We had the same conversation. Like, everything's expensive. Let's just be honest. I mean, everything is expensive. The Morgan Wallen concert. I mean, if I had not gotten those tickets for what I got them for,
Spend what you want.
I cannot thank Caroline enough. I love that lady.
Caroline's wonderful people.
Yeah, all good. So, but I cannot tell you when you have the right people around you, you don't have to have money. I told somebody, he's like, well, you can't hide money. I was like, You ain't gonna have to have money when you hang out with the right people.
That's exactly right.
It
Well,
was,
thank you for offering them to me first.
yeah, right. So, and thank you for declining.
Yes.
But the Morgan Wallen concert, I mean, those tickets were like $250, $300.
Yeah.
Now they were worth every single. If I'd have spent that amount of money, I wouldn't have because I'm cheap. But it was worth every cent.
That's an experiential thing.
It is.
It's once a year, maybe.
But I was listening to another sports radio show here in Atlanta, and they were talking about how this fan that is, every year they put in, and they are Falcons season ticket holders.
Yeah.
Had an extra $15,000.
Well, the PSLs. And
Yeah, they had an extra 15 grand. They're like, this is going to be our year.
Thinking we'll make the playoffs.
We'll make the playoffs again.
Yeah.
Do the whole thing. This is going to be our year. I'm going to put the money in.
We got Bajan.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's like, that was the dumbest thing ever, and I'll never do it again. And this goes back to like one of our episodes we did prior. Is like, we're starting to lose fandom because 28-3. I will never, ever, ever think that there is no lead, ain't no mountain high enough. There ain't no lead big enough. There's not. Because I think that you're always going to blow it. And I'm not going to spend my hard-earned money to go almost ever again.
There hasn't been a whole lot of good things that have happened since 2017. 2018, 2019, Dan Quinn certainly was in over his head. We had to let him go. We brought in Arthur Smith in 2020-21 season, and here we are, basically worse after spending $160 million on defense last year. We've got all these offensive weapons. He mortgaged the farm on a quarterback that he never should have.
Yeah.
We're in the exact same position we were last year. Now we got to go out and draft another quarterback. We just keep setting ourselves behind. And here's the other thing. Why don't we have any playmakers?
Oh, I don't know.
Who are our playmakers?
Yeah.
You look at this defense.
Can't
These
get
guys
mad
we
about
brought
it.
in. David Inyamata. We brought in Caden Ellis. We brought in Calais Campbell. We brought in the safety Bates from Cincinnati, who's been a good player. But then you look at all the other pieces. We just have bodies.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as we had last year. It's just a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of Joes.
Yeah.
They're not heroes. They're just
Joes.
Joes. And then we look at our offensive side. The offensive line should give their money back.
Of 100%.
Alt McGarry
100%.
being re-signed. Those guys just collectively, they just need to give their money back. Matthews has been horrible.
They stacked the box, man, and brought everyone. I mean, I'm just like, we couldn't stop anything.
We
was
can't
unreal.
run the football. We can't pass protect. We had 94 total yards passing last game.
Yeah. You were talking about franchise and talking about the coaches, and the few that you did not mention, because this is as painful as you possibly could. You had Jim Mora, Bobby Petrino. What is going on?
Oh, dude, I mean,
think about.
See, I'm a lot. Okay, just for the record,
Just go.
I'm much older than him.
Yeah.
So whenever I start thinking about it, I start thinking about Marion Campbell, and Lehman Bennett.
I get it.
And Jerry Glanville.
But just think about the leadership that
horrible
left in the middle of the night to Sue Wheat and wore the same exact suit and tie combo when he accepted the Falcons job that he wore when he accepted the Arkansas job.
Look, I almost expected Arthur Smith to come out in a neck brace the other day.
Oh, my word.
Shaved the mustache off, put the neck brace on. I was in a horrible accident. My God. I just hope we get better, and I'm so sorry I slipped off my bike.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just, it really is a joke. I mean, where is our Tom Landry? Where's our Jimmy Johnson?
Yeah.
Where's our Bill Belichick? When do we get our turn?
I don't know.
Anyway,
I mean, because I keep asking to tell my dad all the time. I'm like, man, I just hope that you get to see a championship in your lifetime.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, lied to, kicked in the teeth,
slapped
the whole
in the face.
nine. Just tired of it.
Yeah, anyway.
Anyway, enough about that. Let's talk about Atlanta Hawks. Off to a decent start this season.
They are.
Nice win down in Mexico, and then absolutely wore the city edition again.
Dude,
these are
fire,
smoking hot. Fire.
ATL.
By the
new
way,
era.
New era.
Still here for you, baby.
Logo.
Yeah.
Boom. Anyway, a terrible game again. Why can't we beat the Miami Heat?
I don't know, man. I have no idea.
No Jimmy Butler.
Nope.
No Tyler Hero.
Nope.
It's just like they show up and it's like the ghost of Pat Riley.
Oh yeah.
It's like Pat Riley just he's just there. It's like the Darth Maul or something. He just shows up and all of a sudden we lose the force. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, it was a horrible game. Trae Young again. My goodness. Can you just shoot 30% this year? I'd be thrilled. It's just terrible. He can pass the ball. Good passer.
He is.
And what is up with DeAndre Hunter?
I don't know, man.
I mean, he'll have 25 one game, 6 the next game, 32,
right.
12. I'm like, he's our starting small forward.
Consistency, baby. Let's go.
Anyway, shout out to DeJounte's having a great start to the season.
He is.
Anyway, it's been great.
He is. We had Georgia Tech. Those of us did not play very well.
Went to Clemson, got
Yeah.
absolutely just crushed. Haynes King, worst game of the season.
Yep.
Defense played well the first couple of quarters, and then Clemson just put it on us like they always do.
Yeah.
We've lost 10 in a row to Clemson. I don't want to talk about that anymore.
I get it.
Moving on to UGA, incredible win in Athens,
Man,
crushed
you
Ole
can't.
Miss.
I mean, everybody's now. They're getting to this place now where they're freaking out. Like, this could actually happen.
Bro, it could definitely happen.
I know, you're not a Falcon. I mean, most Georgia fans could be Falcons fans too, but I mean, you have something legitimately to be excited about. They have not.
Right.
They haven't let you. They didn't slam you into the ground from a mountaintop experience and then just step on you with a hobnail boot.
To borrow a phrase from the great Larry Munson.
Listen, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to be. Look, Matt and I, we've been sidewalk Tech fans our whole life. It really wasn't our fault. Our parents, our family members.
First game I ever went
else.
to was Georgia Tech Navy with my uncle,
Yeah.
and ever since.
I've just been I went to Georgia Tech basketball camps when I was a kid. I love Bobby Crimmins. I met Bruce Dalrymple. I met Craig Neal. I met Mark Price. I met John Sally. That just hooked me. I've always loved Tech because of the basketball. They used to be Atlanta's team. They really did.
And they're only 30 miles down the road.
Right,
They
but
were
we
the
have
home
a-
team for me.
We have a tremendous amount of people and family and folks that we love that are Georgia fans, and happy for their success. Again,
Yeah.
we've got a game coming up next weekend where I really hope we play better than we're capable.
Oh, no doubt.
But the rest of the season, we give shout-outs to UGA, and what a great win. I mean, Lane Kiffin's probably still cowering somewhere, crying a little bit after that.
Oh, he's gotta be.
Smart beatdown
Got to be.
that they just got.
Got to be.
And a quick update for KSU. Went down to
Owls.
Florida State last Friday.
It went as expected.
Lost by 28,
I mean,
26.
it's FSU.
It's FSU. I mean, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Football team they played the University of Virginia at Lynchburg, and
Lynchburg.
I'm happy to report that we stomped them.
Yeah.
3 and 6.
There was lynching in Lynchburg. I don't
Oh.
even want to say that, but I mean, it
probably
just,
shouldn't.
Yeah, I know.
3-6 overall record for the Owls this year, moving up into Division 1 into FBS football
Yeah.
next year.
It's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough, but you know what? I'm proud of them.
Yeah.
And Bohannon's just what a difficult job this
They're
year.
just moving. He's moving the things that he's doing. He's moving the school in the right direction for sports and athletics for football.
Yes.
Now, is he going to probably? It's going to be a tough. It's going to be a tough road. But what he's done up until this point has been phenomenal.
No,
It's
he's
been
done a great
absolutely
job.
unreal.
He is exactly the person that we needed to lead that program.
Yeah.
Vince Dooley was huge, instrumental in KSU getting football. We had the opportunity to actually meet him at the very first
Yeah, it
game
was
of all
awesome.
time. That was really cool. What a humble, wonderful man.
Yeah.
And him picking Bohannon, knowing exactly the kind of offense we're going to run, the type of leader that we needed, the type of experience that he has been invaluable. I hope we keep him forever as long as we possibly can.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if that's even possible. I mean,
He'll probably be
somebody's going to end up picking him up, and I hope he doesn't. I hope you stay hometown boy and
I
hang
said
out with
I
us
said the
forever.
exact same thing about Abdul Rahim at KSU, the men's coach from last year, and 2 weeks later he was gone.
Well, we went to the opener and we found out. I mean, we didn't know anything. I mean, we're looking at the we're looking at the stats. We're looking at it like, where did all these guys go? And like 3 of our starters ended up going down to Florida with him. And I'm like, oh, whatever. It is what it is. I mean,
that
I
was
get
like
it.
Stroud and Youngblood, and
Yeah.
I mean, like 3 or 4 of the guys that we both like. Man, I can't
can't
wait to see him play tonight.
Yeah, we didn't
No
know any
longer
better.
on the team.
Yeah, we need to do better.
We need to be better.
We need to
Look
be
at the
better.
roster, you fools. But
We need to do
anyway, I
better.
liked what I saw.
No, it was good. Well, new little part episode. We've got a little. We're gonna break this one down. We're gonna talk about what's on your heart, and we're gonna pet peeves.
Pet peeves.
Pet peeves.
I like pet peeves.
Yeah,
got
we've
lots of those.
Yeah, we've got so there's we just talked about a few, but I mean, what would and please put in whatever it is that you would love to share with us about what your pet peeves are.
I got one. I got one.
I hope you do.
What?
Segment? What's on your heart? Pet peeves. Let's go.
What? I am remiss.
Okay.
I completely forgot and was reminded by
Yes.
my lovely spouse
Okay.
that I forgot to mention the fact that when we went to see the Killers of the Flower Moon,
The longest movie ever in life.
right behind us sat a gentleman who came into the theater and literally snored for the entire 3.5 hours, the whole time, to a point where his wife kicked him out of their row, Send him down to the front of the theater. People were getting up to go complain. They actually brought some staff members in to remove the guy. And right as they brought him in,
Woke up.
he stopped snoring.
Oh, go
Yeah,
figure.
either woke up. I'm pretty sure he just had a nice calm period where he adjusted himself or something.
Got it.
They walk out. He starts snoring again. Do me a favor, folks. If you're that tired, just stay home.
Don't make a 3-hour movie.
Don't make a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, but don't fall asleep.
But if you choose to go to a 3-hour movie like Napoleon that's coming up, it's going to be like 4 hours.
yeah, stay awake.
Yeah.
There are other people there that would like to watch it, not listening to you.
Caffeine's your friend.
Yeah,
Stay awake.
no doubt about it.
Anyway,
but
pet peeve number one.
You'd have to leave the theater and go get yourself some more Coke or something, a little more caffeine.
Something. I mean,
Anything.
Anything. Yes.
So yeah, there's that one. I was at the football game. I cannot even, of all of the technology that we have in life, pet peeve for me, sitting at the football game and the entire time the person that is sitting right next to me is on a phone call, which, whatever, I'm talking the entire time. Talking to this person on speakerphone. So I'm listening to this whole conversation go down. There are earbuds, there are AirPod, there's everything that you would need
There's
for me
taking
not
your phone off speaker. There's that
just
too.
holding it. There's
Yeah.
just that.
You can do that.
To the point where listening to this conversation. Now, it would be worse if it was, speaking in a different language. At least I was involved in the conversation. I
Right.
could hear what
If
was
you're
going
going to
on.
talk on a speakerphone, at least let me eavesdrop.
But here's the deal. The entire time he's sitting there talking to this guy, and they're just back and forth having this conversation, not about the game, about something completely different. The
Sure.
guy's son is playing, but he's talking to his buddy about something else. He gets done having this game is over, and he flat out goes, "All right, bruh, I'll get back to you later because the game's done, so I got to go." And I'm like,
It was
what?
that long of a conversation.
The
That's
conversation
insane.
went the whole second half,
That's horrible.
and I'm sorry, I got to go.
Oh, Dad, how'd I play? Oh, you played great, son.
It was awesome.
Good job.
It was awesome. But yeah. Talking on speakerphone in public, it just should not happen.
Was this a North Cobb fan?
The only time that could happen is if I'm talking to my wife and talking about the kids and hey, you hear me, honey? Yeah, okay. I'm moving some money over to my son's account,
Yeah.
or let me check this on my phone and get back.
That's totally
Done.
Yeah, that's fine.
Not the entire conversation.
Right. Was it a
Not the
North Cobb fan?
I don't even know.
I'm going to make sure we make a PSA at the next home game.
I don't know. If you need to be on speakerphone, go away.
Just go away.
Just step outside.
Go to your car.
Remove yourself from the situation. Other people do not need to have your conversation.
That is a terrible thing.
And what do I? Hey, bro, could you please just take that down? Now I just look like a jerk.
Yeah. And I would say some languages are kind of prettier than others. So when somebody gets super vocal and they're speaking a language that, you don't even know what they're saying.
Yeah.
Again,
I'll listen to
I'm
it.
not an active participant if I can't eavesdrop.
Yeah, I don't know.
So just please don't do that.
I don't know. So yeah, that was
That's a
mine.
good one.
That was mine.
That's a good one.
What else you got? There's got to be another one.
I spent a long time in the hospitality business. I was a bartender, waited tables. I worked at TGI Fridays on Barrett Parkway for many years. I think the thing that I hate the most now, and maybe it's because I'm a get off my lawn period of my life, is I just hate when the waiters constantly ask you if you want more water. I'm like, you know what? Was it complimentary when I got here? Am I going to have to tell you?
Water.
I'm going to have to, yes, water. Am I going to have to tell you, please cut me off from the water? I don't think I am.
No.
So if you see my water glass is sitting on the table, and
Just fill it up.
I'm having a conversation. Maybe I'm catching up with my kids about their week and how they're doing. Or
Just fill it
I'm
up.
talking to my wife about our next great financial investment. I don't want to answer the question of, do I need more water?
Yeah.
Just bring it.
Just do it. Wet the whistle. That's all I'm saying.
The guy, sweet guy, nice young kid, just sharp looking kid, really good kid.
Yeah.
Very nice. At the restaurant the other night. Must
Can I
ask
get you
me
some more water?
7 times. More? Do you need more water? Do you?
Yep.
No, I don't need it. But
Just
maybe I
bring it.
do.
Just bring it. Just bring it.
So please be better and just refill beverages. And here's
Yeah.
the other thing: companies make about 1,800% on soft drinks, right? So you're sitting there, you like Coke Zero.
Sure.
Your Coke Zero's running. Just refill it. Don't
Yeah.
even ask.
I got you.
So
No,
anyway, that's pet peeve number 2.
Man, you're strong. I'm glad you take blood pressure medication.
I do.
But it's something you got to get off your heart sometimes.
Hey, my heart's been distressed with some of this stuff lately.
Yeah,
I gotta
so
get it.
I'm a student leader at the church, and so I get to see a lot of students in what I do. And we were talking about this, like we want our kids to do better, like with the wheels and the
course.
tires and the things. We want them to do better, right? Why I go through McDonald's on Saturday.
Oh gosh.
So you're talking about the hospitality industry. Going through McDonald's on Saturday.
Bless your heart.
Thank you very much. And I wanted to have a little Mick conversation. All right. Okay. So am I not warranted Mick conversation in the McDonald's drive-thru?
Well, of course.
Okay, so I'm driving through and this is where we are as a culture. It's just take some time, slow down and talk. So what happens is I drive in and I order and they say, okay, come to the first
I'm
window.
just wondering what kind of topic we're talking about here.
What are you talking
Like a deep topic with a McDonald's
No,
employee or whatever. Okay,
no. We're not going deep. We're not
Okay,
going deep
gotcha.
fried, French fries.
Like a fried apple pie.
Driving through, we're in a hurry. We're going through, and they said, okay, come around for your total, and we'll give it to you at first window. I said, okay, great.
Totally familiar with the process.
Totally.
Yes, got it.
Open the window. Great lady behind. She's probably, 19, 20.
Sure.
Okay. And she goes, how are you doing? 12:10. And I said, okay, well, this is my opportunity. I'm feeling wiser this
Did that
week.
not satisfy you with the conversation there?
I'm feeling wiser this weekend because it's my birthday. Let me have this conversation with you. So I look over at her and I said, well, you asked me how I am. I'm great. How are you doing? And the look on her face, she freaked out. She goes, well, I'm doing great this morning. Thanks. And I said, okay.
Oh my goodness, social skills.
It was unbelievable.
Wow.
And they broke out of their shell. But if you're going to ask a question, it's like going to church.
Well, allow me to retort.
It's like going to church. Hey, how are you doing this morning? Doing great, doing awesome. What if you stopped in the tracks and just went, oh, I'm doing terrible.
Right.
Can you talk
And
about it?
As a matter of fact, I'm glad you asked. I may have backed over Spot this afternoon.
But I hate it when we do that. It's like, hey, how are you doing? Oh, doing great, doing awesome. And then you're on your way. No, take the time.
Living the dream.
I sat there. She was wearing a Kennesaw State shirt, and apparently uniforms aren't a thing at McDonald's anymore. But she was wearing a Kennesaw State shirt, and I was like, "Hey, you a student at Kennesaw State?" She goes, "Well, yes, I am." I said, "Well, I graduated from Kennesaw State. Go Owls." She's like, "Oh, well, thanks." I was like, "So what are you going to school for?" I mean, again, we're not taking time away. There's still a car in front of me.
This is probably like an all of a minute conversation.
There's a
while
car,
you're waiting.
but there's a car in front of me. It's not like I'm in a hurry to get anywhere.
While they're cooking up your sausage egg muffin,
not
have
a big deal.
Conversation.
And so, so I was like, "Hey, so what are you going to school for?" She's like, "Well, I'm actually majoring in nursing, and it is so hard." And I was like, "Oh, well, my business partner and best friend, his daughter's going in for nursing as well, and I know it's tough, but I think you can do it. You're doing great. Keep it up." And I said, "You know what? And keep smiling."
You are a little bit wiser, Matt.
Well, I'm just saying. Anyway, so we had a good time. She just kept on, and dude, it was the greatest conversation with that lady. This just first thing in the morning. Take some time to just enjoy the conversation. That's all I'm saying.
I love it. I think that's an excellent, excellent point. Use your social skills when people you ask a question as in, how are you today? And
Yeah.
What's going on?
How are you?
Be
12:10.
prepared for a response.
How are you? 12:10. No,
12:10.
No, I'm not 12:10. No, as a matter of fact.
Fun experience today that occurred. Matt is getting a little bit older, and we were sitting down at one of our favorite local joints to eat a little pizza, and a lady walks up to him and says, "You look. I just got to tell you, you look exactly like my father-in-law." Hence picture. She pulls it out. It's a guy with a white beard that looks like Brian McCann. Looks nothing like Matt. So I think the only thing she was basically equating the similarity to was the fact that he had a white beard. I don't appreciate it.
James goes, yeah, he gets it all the time. Like, thanks. Thanks a lot, man. I really, really appreciate it. He gets it all the time. He just looks old.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
Then she looked at me and she was like, "What are you talking about?"
Thanks.
Anyway.
Thanks a lot.
Good stuff.
I appreciate
Good
it.
stuff.
But anyway, so
Pet peeves, baby.
Pet peeves. That's it. Let us know what your pet peeves are. I mean, we'd love to get a little information from you guys. A couple other things that we mentioned in the comments. John Buchanan is a John Buchanan 3919 last week.
Buck, my boy Buck.
Your boy Buck. So we were talking about do you ever leave the movie theaters for whatever reason? And we had brought up the stolen valor thing from Don Shipley. And so John Buchanan is a veteran, and so he's down at the VW or the
VFW.
The VFW
He,
down-
he lives down near Pensacola now.
Yeah. So he's like, I also worked with the Seabees once in Afghanistan, and interestingly enough, they were impressed with me as well, but I was not asked to become a Navy SEAL. And he said, also, I never leave the theater during the movie. Back teeth might be floating from that large soda, but you just have to stay strong.
See, I can see John just gritting it out.
I know,
That's the kind
man.
of guy he is. Just grit it out.
Yeah.
Then he sent me a note the other day. Not only did he win his golf tournament, he also won shuffleboard with the boys. Congrats, John. That's big for
Go,
you.
bro,
Way to
go.
buddy.
And then the next one we had was Adam Kempf, 6507. What's up, Adam? How you doing, bro? He said, if you must leave a movie for snacks, it's either A, grab what I can and run back.
Right, because I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I get it.
B, movie sucks. Let me get a decent spread.
I love that. I think, see, those, that's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of stuff we're talking
Yeah.
about. Like, that's real stuff. But I'm the one of the people that I just got to sit through it. I got to do it.
If you're in like a Drew Barrymore movie, I totally get it. Like, oh, I need to go
Gotta
get
go.
nachos. I got to get popcorn. I got to get a bunch of stuff.
Do the
I'm
whole
just telling
thing.
you. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, that's great, Adam.
Thanks for
Good
those.
stuff. Good
Thanks for
stuff.
those comments, guys. I love to hear that. But yeah, I'm just one of those guys that just got to sit through it. I don't care. I just don't care that much. I mean,
You know, I'm that way, but you know, I'm getting older.
Yeah.
You know, and the whole bladder control problem is starting to kick in.
you don't feel like you're just gonna miss something.
Not in the last movie I was in. I literally missed nothing. I could have walked out of there for an hour and a half and not missed a
Picked
thing.
right back up where you left
It's
off.
been like, oh, great, back
Oh.
on it, got it.
Okay.
Oh, that's the bad guy. I already knew. Anyway,
Done. So yeah, so that's the stuff that we've got going on. What else did we want to talk about this week?
I want to
that
get something off my chest. I need a what is on my heart moment. I got to get this off my chest.
Okay.
My beautiful wife and I have been trying to sell our house for a while. Not
Okay.
been a fun process. Been kind of crazy.
Yep.
And really, you know, it's all about interest rates. You know, I saw kind of a TikTok the other day of an agent talking where 10 years ago you buy a $300,000 house at 3%. You know, that was a pretty decent payment to make, whatever else. But now you can buy a house for $300K. That's a worse house because again, properties have gone through the roof at a double your interest rate. So you're paying twice as much for a house that's even smaller than what you were buying 10 years ago.
Again, everything is more expensive.
It's a huge, major problem. Anybody out there that's looking to borrow, you know, and again, we've kind of our buddy Jimmy Ingman, he's in the business and whatever else. I've talked to him a little bit about this, and we may have him on at some point. You know, it's gotten to be completely ridiculous. You can't borrow the money. If you're going to buy a $500,000 house now, you better be prepared to pay $800,000 for it.
Right.
It's really gotten to a point where it's crazy, and
Yeah,
we got to
not-
get this under control, dude.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
We've got the parents that are building their new house, and
Yeah.
you know, I mean, it's a good thing that the insurance company was able to help them out some because I mean, what's going to happen is they're going to end up having to mortgage the rest of it that's there, and by the time that's all done, I mean, they had a pretty good interest rate when the house burned to the ground, but now they're going to end up with 7.5%, 8%. You know,
Yeah,
but
and you know the banks don't mind. I mean,
No.
you know that's where basically greed was created.
Yeah.
You know, nothing's going to stop that,
Yeah.
and even the Fed's going to have to step in at some point. I'm telling you, it's concerning to me. It's kind of on my heart. I'm going through the process kind of myself, and it's just frustrating.
no, I
It's
understand.
very, very frustrating.
Yeah, I don't know who.
But
Was,
hey, I may just stay where I'm at. Who knows? Let's
I mean,
just go from
it's. I can understand that. Get
Yeah.
it off your heart, man. I mean, that's tough. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people because we're getting to the place now where a lot of people move either after the summer or they move during this holiday season because
Right.
they want their kids or they've got new jobs or something of that nature. And I'm sure that there are a lot of. I mean, people don't realize when the economy goes into this place that we end up just screwing ourselves sometimes because I mean nobody's going to move, nobody's going to take another job somewhere else. They'd be a great fit for it because now they're going to get out of their mortgage that they currently have, which is great, and they're going to have to move somewhere else and go pay more for something that's just going to
Right.
be ridiculous.
And how many people do we
And then the
know?
company can't afford them when they go and move.
Correct. And how many people do we know in the business that we've been in? Matt and I have been in executive recruiting for years that are actively looking for jobs.
Correct.
It's insane.
I know.
There's a problem out there. There's a wave that's coming. If we don't hit a major recession, I'll be shocked. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
it's
not an
gonna-
economist.
Yeah, just hold on to your horses, guys. I mean, especially this time of year. I mean, being content with the things that we have. Sometimes we
Yes.
just got to think about it. And I know it stinks being, you know, we're thankful for the things we got coming up. We got Thanksgiving coming up. We've got
Right.
Christmas where we want to. But guys, I mean, getting content with what we have because a lot of the times we spend money on things to impress people that we don't even like sometimes. and sometimes with money that we don't even have.
Well, I think,
And that becomes
you
the
hit the nail
problem.
on the head. We talked about this the other day. The most important commodity that we all have is time.
Yeah, 100%.
And I find, spending money on this or that or the other, what's better? Is it kind of the response to spending money, or is it the experience of just being around the ones you love? I'm
Right.
super thankful for that opportunity.
Right.
I'm going to keep that in mind. I hope everybody else does too. And bless your hearts over this holiday season. I mean, it's
Yeah.
going to be a tough year, I think, next year.
No,
So
I'm with it. But yeah, going to out of that, I don't know how we even got there, but I mean, that's some stuff that's the stuff we want to talk about, the stuff that really
I'd
matters.
love to get other people's opinions on that. Maybe
Yeah.
people that have gone through that.
Are you
People-
trying to move? Are
Yeah.
you going through a financial thing right now where it's just too expensive for you to be able to do it? Is it parents? Is it kids?
trying to
Is
buy a
it
car?
anything.
Whatever. It's crazy. It's all
anything? Would
crazy.
love to hear your thoughts.
Here's another one. Are you trying to basically get new insurance?
Oh, golly.
It's insane.
You just had a good experience, though, with insurance.
Well, I have to say,
Shout
I'm gonna
outs.
give a big, huge
Give
shout
it.
out to the Dickerson Agency, Lisa and Kim,
Yep.
who are just phenomenal. They're our agents for our business.
They are.
They're my agents for my personal. I was looking at a massive increase. Kim did her job. And listen, this is why you need to check out the Dickerson Agency if you're in Cobb County. They're
100%.
phenomenal. And she went out on the market and she rebid my insurance to everybody.
Yeah.
And basically got me even better coverage, got my daughter on the coverage for basically the same price.
That's
so
awesome.
I just wanted to say thank you for that, Kim.
Personal and business,
Everything.
the Dickerson Agency,
Yes.
Kennesaw, Georgia. Check them out. We love them to death.
They
They're
are
awesome.
wonderful, wonderful people and great to work with. So please look them up if you're looking for insurance.
This episode has been brought by the Dickerson Agency, not Mavis Tire. Okay, so there you go.
Yes.
So Turkey Day is upon us next week. We do have some stuff that's going on next week. We got another episode. We want to know what are your traditions?
Yes.
What are your favorite things to eat? Tell us what it is.
Lions or Cowboys or
Ooh,
both.
Yeah, let's go.
Or are you a turkey leg guy? Are
Yeah.
you more of a breast guy? Do you like the cranberry? Do you like the cranberry out of the can? Do you like
You want the-
fresh?
yeah.
Are you a yams
There's
guy?
a lot
I
to
mean,
talk about.
Holy smokes!
There's a lot.
Can't wait till next week's episode.
No, that's going to be awesome. So we hope that you guys have an awesome rest of your week. Please check out the merchandise on the store. The Bless Your Heart Boys boutique is up and running hard. We are going to continue with the 10% off for the veterans. We're going to take that. So make sure that I wore it proud, veterans. If you're on there, you go use that. You get 10% off, and then we are going to continue to give that 10% of all the sales that go through to the veterans as well. So make sure you get that done. But yeah, tell us all about your stuff that you got going on for next week for Thanksgiving, and then we will see you next Tuesday.
I think I made deep fry falcon this year.
Ooh,
That's what I'm thinking of.
deep fried falcon.
Yes, we will definitely be gobbling till we wobble next week. We're
Gobble till you
excited.
wobble.
It's going to be awesome. We'll see you guys on Tuesday.
Till
Appreciate
then.
you following us.
Next week, bless your heart.
Take care, Milltown. Dude, I didn't even know you were going to bust out the banana suit. That's fire. I was looking at him like, I don't even know where like the hole is to put this thing on.